morning, everybody.
Good morning.
And I hope that we will have a thought-provoking time together this morning. As already Dr. Girish has mentioned, I'm going to deal with the topic faith and reason. All of you are familiar with this famous slogan. It's being used by one of the leading cellular companies in our country. An idea can change your life. This is absolutely true because the idea which you hold in your life has a lot to do with your personality, your character, your destiny, and the whole personality will be decided by the idea which you belong to. That's why the world-renowned philosopher and famous author Richard M. Weaver has written a book named Ideas Have Consequences. Every idea has their own consequences because it has an implication, an impact in our whole life. So this is very serious in our life that the idea which we belong to has to be examined and evaluated because after all, the idea will decide who am I, what's my destiny. So this is a big question in our society and culture. Faith and reason, are they contradictory or complementary? So there is a popular idea in our society that faith and reason, that they can never get along. They cannot go together. For example, when I say that I believe in something, it is not the case as I reason for something. When I say that I am reasoning for something, there is no faith at all. That means they are contradictory. But let me ask you one question. Can we live without faith? In other words, can you take any step further without faith? So let us look at some of the examples as we use as the belief statements. See, I believe that Shakespeare existed. I believe that John F. Kennedy was assassinated. I believe in education. I believe in science. Did you observe one point here that whenever I use belief, the word belief, it is always followed by either that or in. Either I believe that or I believe in. What does it mean? When I say that I believe that Shakespeare existed, I mean I have enough reason to think that to be true. That means there is enough evidence to believe that to be true. There is a certainty in my belief. Look at the second example. I believe in education. When I say I believe in something or someone, that means I have enough reason to put my trust or confidence in something or someone. Right? What do we get from this point? Whenever you exercise faith, or whenever you make a belief statement, there is always a reason behind it. But the question is whether my reason is true or not. Whether my reason is right or not. Again, When I say that I believe that Shakespeare existed, I say that I have enough evidence and reasons to believe that, like the historical records, which speak about the life of Shakespeare, his own writings, which proclaim the testimony of his existence, and other historical testimony. The monuments of this particular person, like statues or the paintings and other portraits. So there are lot of reasons and evidence for me to believe that this statement is true. But I haven't seen him. Right? I believe that Shakespeare existed, but I haven't seen him. Even though you haven't seen something, you have still enough reason to accept that reality. So this is what we have to understand about the relationship between faith and reason. You cannot exercise faith, or you cannot believe in something or someone without a reason. But that reason must be supported by enough evidence. Otherwise, there's a problem. So let us examine what is the meaning of faith and reason. By definition, faith means complete trust or confidence in something or someone. That's what we have already seen in the earlier example. When I say that I believe in modern medicine, I mean that I have complete trust and confidence in modern medicine. When I say that I don't believe in Ayurveda, I mean I don't have enough confidence or trust in Ayurveda. Let me ask you one question. What guarantee do you have that this seminar would take place here? In other words, before you had decided to come and attend this seminar, did you search for any evidence or proof? No. You got the information about the seminar, either from your friend or from the social media or some other sources. You got the information and you believed it instead of searching for the evidence. Why did you come to this two-story building? What confidence you have that this is strong enough to be in? How many of you have searched for enough evidence and proof before you step into this hall? We didn't search for any evidence. Faith. I believe that this building is strong enough to be safe. Again, in our day-to-day life, all of us travel by bus or by car. Before you enter the bus, do you search for the evidence and proof that this bus is strong enough or the driver is capable to take me to my destination? No, this is a faith, belief. I believe that this driver, he is capable and this bus is in a good condition to take me to the place where I want to reach. Faith. So if you deny the reality of faith and belief, you cannot have a normal life. Faith is an essential part of our normal life. Then why do they accuse those who claim to be believers that they are not reasonable? If there is faith, there is no reason. But when you study the meaning of faith, you can see that this is part of our life. Whenever I say that I have faith in something or someone. I have a reason. But the question is whether my reasoning is right or not. Whether my reason is right or not. What is the meaning of reason? Reason has two different meanings. One of them is that your capacity to think or form the ideas. That's not what we are going to discuss here. Here I mean a cause, an explanation, or a justification of an action, an event. So when I say that I have a reason to believe in something, I mean I have a cause for that decision. I have a justification for that decision. So reason has two aspects. One, an explanation. What I believe. Second one, a justification. Why do I believe? If your faith don't meet or fulfill these two qualities, there cannot be a reasonable faith. This is what we have to think about our belief. The stand in our faith and in our belief, whether I am able to explain it, whether I am able to justify it. If it is not so, that's a blind faith. So if you are able to meet these two components in your belief, that's a true faith. Otherwise, that's a blind faith. Right. So this is what I want to tell you, that faith and reason, they cannot be separated. They cannot be separated. They are parallel. So we have been discussing about faith, reason, and all these aspects, and all these areas are coming under philosophy. What is philosophy? So, otherwise, what picture or idea comes into your mind when you hear the word philosophy? Different people have different perception or opinions about philosophy. Some people think that philosophy is such a boring subject, which has absolutely nothing to do with our day-to-day life. This is only a theory, a set of different theories. Sir Isaac Newton has described philosophy as saying like this: philosophy is like searching for a black cat in a dark room. Is it a good job? You are searching for a black cat in a dark room? But philosophy is very important in our life. There is no other discipline without philosophy. In other words, whenever you make a theory or an idea, you are philosophizing that idea. Whenever you justify an idea, that is philosophy. So, philosophy is asking the fundamental questions about truth and life and seeking for the answers. So, everybody has their own philosophy. So, what do you think about life? That's his philosophy. What do you think about politics? That's his philosophy. What do you think about education? That's his philosophy. What do you think about medicine? That's his philosophy. And philosophy has different streams. First one is metaphysics. Physics and metaphysics. Physics means you are dealing with the physical world. Metaphysics means you are dealing with outside the physical world. Otherwise, they are asking the question that, is there any other reality outside this physical world? Epistemology. This is known as the theory of knowledge. So when you have your own metaphysics, when you have your own ideology about different disciplines, the question is, how do you know what you know. How do you know your knowledge is true? What was the source of your knowledge? All these questions are being dealt by this department, epistemology. Ethics. This is a question of good and evil. How to differentiate between good and evil. How do you draw the line to distinguish something as good or right, evil or wrong? See, when you deal with metaphysics, epistemology, and ethics, you are coming up with different ideologies, different ideas. But the question is, how to know whose idea is right? That's what logic deals with. Logic means the law of thought, the law of reason. So this is what I am going to focus on this morning. So you cannot deny logic, the significance of the logic in our day-to-day life. If you simplify a little more, logic means the law of language. How to think properly, how to define something properly, how to make an idea properly. Otherwise, if my thought process is not right, I can never come to a right conclusion. Right? This is what we call as common sense. Right? So if there is no such principle to make an idea or to think properly, we will be in a chaos. That will give the license to anyone to think whatever he wants to think, to believe whatever he wants to believe. Right? So this is what logic is dealing with. This is the basis for all idea, all thought. Logic is essential for sound thinking. And one more point, logic alone cannot take you to the truth. Logic will help you. What is the fallacy in your argument? What is wrong with your argument? So this is the one main job logic does in our life. It will help you what is wrong with my argument. When the logic is valid and true, that is the sound argument. So whenever we come up with an idea or an ideology, that must be supported by sound argument. I will give a little bit awareness about even the argument. Argument means consists of premises leading to a conclusion. This is not a technical term. Simply means argument is a set of statements which lead you to a conclusion. So when you make a conclusion, make sure that there are set of statements. On the basis of these statements, you made your conclusion. Example. Premise or statement 1, all men die. Statement 2, Bobby is a man. So what is a natural or usual conclusion? Therefore, Bobby will die. This is what one of the important rules in the law of logic. Valid conclusion should always come from valid statements. So before you make a conclusion, make sure that the statement from where I made the conclusion is valid. Sometimes your argument may be valid, but it is not a necessary condition that since it is valid, it will be true. For example, all men are reptiles. Bobby is a man, therefore Bobby is a reptile. If you are trained in the systematic logic, you can easily find out that this is valid, but this is not true because man is not a reptile. So this is what we say, that praying with words. In the same way, you can pray with arguments which seem to be true and sound. So we have to be very, very careful before you acknowledge or you embrace an argument, because we are very much embarrassed with different ideas, lots of ideas into our mind. This is very easy for us to be deceived by a wrong information, a wrong idea. So we have to be very careful in choosing the argument or an idea. So now onward, we are going to test some of the arguments against faith. So when I say that you cannot live without faith or exercising belief in something, immediately they would say that, yeah, I believe in everything. I believe in education, I believe in politics, I believe in medicine, but I don't believe in a creator, a God. So how do I justify my faith in a creator? We are going to analyze, according to the law of logic, what is the validity of their argument. The first premise, they would say, nobody has seen God. Premise 2, I have not seen God, so there is no God. It seems to be sound or right. But if you carefully observe and analyze this argument using the law of thought, you can see what is the deception behind this argument. You see, when I say that nobody has seen God, this is a universal negation. Right? Universal negation is more risky than making a universal affirmation. For example, if I want to say there is no platinum in India, I want to observe and check each and every nook and corner of India. Right? Then only I can come to such a conclusion. But if I want to make a conclusion that there is platinum in India, even if it is in this room, this is more than enough. Why? This room is part of India. Did you get the point? So in the same way, if anybody wants to claim that nobody has seen God, he has to check with each and every man in the history. Is there such a person who has checked with each and every person from the very beginning of the human history? Then how did you come to that conclusion? This is unproved premise and statement. In the same way, if I want to say that there is no God, I want to go and check and observe each and every nook and corner of the whole universe, known and unknown universe. Then only you can come to that conclusion, which is totally impossible. Again, if you want to make a valid argument, there must be minimum 2 premises. Otherwise, the conclusion should follow from minimum 2 premises. How many premises are there? Nobody has seen God. I haven't seen God. That means the second premise is also included in the first premise. Right? Because I am part of nobody. So, Mr. Jagashan, he's a lawyer. Can you make a conclusion from just one premise? He is a criminal. How do you know that? He's a criminal. That's not a valid argument. I have statement number 1, 2, 3, 4. So he is a criminal. In the same way, this argument is not valid. The first premise itself couldn't prove the truthfulness of that argument. And again, if I say that I won't believe unless I see, I am still in a problem because I cannot live. Because I believe in something or in many things which I have never seen. For example, the material forces like the force of gravity. Do you see the force of gravity? No. Even Isaac Newton hasn't seen the force of gravity. We know that this is a reality because there is the effect of that force. From the effect, we know that this is a reality. Again, love, anger, joy, sadness, these feelings are not visible, but nobody denies the existence of these feelings. By the effect, we know this is a reality. In the same way, today we see things that existed earlier but could not see earlier. Example, bacteria. Does it mean that bacteria was not there till man found out the bacteria? No, bacteria was already there. That means the existence of a reality is not dependent of our vision, our seeing. Whether you see it or not, the existence of reality is still there. Whether you know it or not, the reality is still there. So nobody can deny the reality since I haven't seen it, since I don't know it. That's not a valid argument. Again, all of us use computer or the desktop or the laptop. Can I come to a conclusion that there is no engineer behind this computer since I couldn't find the designer within the computer? Can I come to a conclusion? No. Because the computer and the designer, they are two different entities. It is just like when you make a conclusion that I haven't seen God in the universe. This is just like saying that I haven't seen the designer within the computer, so there is no designer. That's not a valid argument. So the same criteria which you apply in your day-to-day life in terms of logic, reasoning, making the argument and conclusion should be applied in the case of God too. Right? Again, when we ask the questions regarding the origin of the universe, the people, those who deny the existence of a creator, they have a lot of reasons, lot of explanations. There are different options. Either the universe was eternal, which was already disproved by the science, or it was a chance. What is the chance that the chance can cause the universe? What is the chance? For example, if you keep a dead body, giving enough time, what is the chance that this dead body will come back to the life? We have a couple of doctors are sitting here. Is there a chance? No. When I am sick, I will never wait for chance, right? Thinking that it would come back to the normal stage by chance. Chance is not a sound argument. Because what are the chances that chance can do anything? No chance. Again, when we use the word chance here, It doesn't mean that when you go to college or your office, by chance you meet a friend after a long time. Spontaneously, that's not the meaning which we mean here in this particular context. Here, chance means the lack of or absence of an external force or a person or a cause for the existence of the universe. Right? And again, when I say that the chance caused the existence of the universe, I mean the universe caused its existence by itself. Did you understand the argument? But there is a logical fallacy, because if I want to cause my own existence, I would have to exist before my existence. Do you get the headache? This is what a philosopher and author, Dr. Assis Proud, is asking. Don't you get a headache? I want to exist. If I were causing my own existence before my existence, which is totally impossible, because something cannot be existed and not be existed at the same time. That's the violation of one of the logical rules, the rules of logic. Law of contradiction. That's a contradiction. Existing and not existing at the same time in the same relationship. Again, this is an invalid argument. And again, if you analyze this argument according to the law of thought, nothing comes out of nothing. Nothing can cause nothing. There must be something, or there must be someone. So our first premise is, out of nothing, nothing comes. Today we find something. So there was something or someone. Before you go for your college or your office, you have to have your breakfast. How many of you keep enough ingredients and vegetables for your meal and waiting for the chance? No chance, right? You have to use your intelligence, your reason, your thinking for the calculation, and you have to give enough time. One person has to work out behind it. Then how about the whole universe? Right? And these are some arguments we use for the existence of a creator. Anything begins to exist has a cause. Anything that begins to exist has a cause. Science has already proved that the universe has a beginning, that you can hear in detail in the next presentation. The universe began to exist. So, the universe has a cause. There is no other option. Again, there is a design argument. Every design has a designer. Can a design come to the reality by chance? Is it possible? For example, the laptop, the vehicle which you use, your electronic items, whether chance caused these things into existence, or there was a designer who used his intelligence and mind. So if there is a design, there is a designer. The universe has highly complex design. Look at the structure and the design of the universe. Even the solar system where we live, we are part of the universe, the part of the solar system. The design, the calculation, the amazing way of functioning. So how can you come to such a conclusion that everything happened all of a sudden by chance. That means there was a designer behind this universe. And again, there's a reason for reason. There are a lot of people, those who accuse the believers, those who put their trust in the Creator, saying that you are against reason. We are for reason. So our question is, how can you trust your reason? If you are a product of a chance, how do you know that your reason is right? Right? This is what the naturalists explain about the origin of the universe. That we are only the result of a random forces which happen on the basis of the natural selection. That means if you are the product or the result of a natural selection or a random force, all your thinking and decisions must be considered as invalid and irrational. Because who knows that all your thinking, your ideas and way of thinking, everything is the result of a chemical imbalance in your brain. Brain, the only organ which you use for reasoning and thinking. If it is the result of the natural selection, that should be considered as something irrational. So you can never come to a reasonable argument from that worldview or that premise. So there are only two explanations about the existence of reason. Either reason came by chance from random forces of atoms and natural selection, or reason came from a reasoning mind. So this is our question. Can a lifeless matter produce life? Can a mindless matter who has no mind, who has no capacity to think and reason, can produce a reasoning mind? That means if there is no creator behind the reason, you cannot trust your reason, because that is also the result of a natural selection. So this is my question for you or for them. If there is no creator, if there is no designer behind the cause of this universe has no meaning and purpose. That they agree with it. Those who deny the existence of creator, they say that this universe has no meaning and purpose. So you are also part of this meaningless and purposeless universe. That means you have no meaning and purpose. That means your argument also has no meaning and purpose. So why do you want me to accept your argument which has no meaning and purpose, which is coming from a person who has no meaning and purpose? So this is the only one reasonable conclusion we can come to regarding the origin of the universe, the beginning of the universe. So reason and faith are not contradictory. This is what one of the world famous and renowned philosopher, Socrates, there is no philosophy apart from Socrates. He said that the unexamined life is not worth living. So let me encourage all of you to examine what is your belief and why do you believe. Reason about your faith. So may God, the Creator, the reasonable Creator, help all of us. Thank you.